LSU at Missouri. Um, Shaden Daniels. What do you gotta say? Are you gonna say
He's
sorry?
incredible.
All right.
I
If you guys are just tuning
want
in, CD just okay. To be fair, CD was on the LSU under 9.5, right, which is looking pretty good up to this point. But his reasoning more lied
so
along was more along the lines of you called the secondary being having a huge lack of depth, which oh my gosh, it has been. Even in this game, it was terrible, right? In this game, it was even it's terrible. But also part of the reason was you weren't as high on Jaden Daniels, and to be fair, I wasn't
and
I wasn't scorching high on Jaden Daniels either. I don't think. I mean, dude, but he is playing out of his nards right now.
he's electric to watch. And we talk about this every week. We break it down
Dude,
on
every
film.
week he gets
He
laid
runs
out.
straight up and down, and he gets laid out, and he's gonna get hurt. Like and we saw it in the game.
Yeah, I
He got
got
hurt,
drilled. Well, I
and
actually didn't
like,
get drilled, but like I got drilled a couple times. But
and he had to set up for a couple plays. Like, that's not a sustainable way. First of all, when your defense is giving up literally anything goes right now, and your quarterback is taking crazy hits, and there's so much on him. I get it. He didn't have a monster day in terms of numbers wise. He didn't put up 400 yards. That was Brady Cook, but he was really efficient. 15 for 21. He ran the ball super well. 15 for 130 and another touchdown. But what I do need to apologize for again is I also called out the running back room at LSU. I thought they were going to be a little bit of weakness, and I was waiting for somebody to emerge. I was thinking maybe Noah Kane, right? Maybe John Emery gets his act together. But no, Logan Diggs has been awesome for them. A real nice revelation. Obviously, that wide receiver room is ridiculous. And Mason Taylor's a good tight end as well. But there's just I still feel great about the under, right? Like, Missouri was up big in this game, and it took LSU storming back in the second half. But I will give credit to LSU. They could have very easily folded, very, very easily
I
folded
mean,
in that
they
second
did the
half
week
on the
they did
road.
last week.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But they were also up in that game. Like, to me, this was a much different feeling. Like, I was very impressed with Brian Kelly being able to continue to rally the troops and get buy-in from his team, even when they were down, and come back and win an impressive football game. 22 points in the fourth quarter, right? One of them was garbage time, whatever. Like, still very, very impressive output in a game that, God,
Yeah,
it's
I'm.
such.
I mean, sure, Brady Cook had the big pick end of the game. Whatever. I would like to say sorry for thinking that Jeff Garcia was magnitudes better than Brady Cook. The Brady Cook slander for me preseason was real. It was real, and he is. So as long as we're on the apology tour, I will apologize to Brady Cook. And sir, I did not recognize your game. You've got some game, man. So I didn't think Missouri was going to win this game. They didn't, but yeah. I mean, still hats off to both these quarterbacks. They played awesome. Luther Burden, holy Christ, is that kid insane? That's an Illinois boy, stud, stud. So Cody Schrader also played pretty well, I think. I mean, how many, what did he have? What were his stats? He was well over 100 yards. That dude's cooking too. I mean, Drinkwitz was right when he said that Cody Schrader was going to have 1,000 yards.
Well,
That
and
guy's
he
on his
did it
way.
on only 13 carries. He had 13 carries for 114 yards and obviously 3 touchdowns. But yeah, good player. Very good
Yeah,
team. What's the ceiling of this Missouri team right now in terms of, like, looking ahead? Because obviously, this game was a game you would have loved to have. Obviously, I get it, you were underdogs in it, but it was there to be had in the second half. Obviously at home, Missouri's turned into a pretty darn good environment there, especially when a pretty good team comes into town. Well, what's their
yeah.
ceiling in terms of?
I think Missouri's okay, right? I mean, right now, here are the data points that we have. They've had close games with Middle Tennessee, Memphis, Vanderbilt. They controlled the game, but Kansas State, which that loss looks worse and worse by the second, or that win looks worse and worse by the second. And you lose to LSU at home. Now LSU's a good team. We all know that. But I'm not ready to say that they're like they might give Georgia a scare. They could. I don't know, but they're going to
At
Georgia.
Georgia
So
will be tough.
that's
Yeah.
that's the thing. But I mean, the ceiling of this Missouri team, which started 5-1, I mean, the ceiling of this team, I mean, you go to Kentucky next weekend, but Tennessee you get at home, you get Florida at home, you're going to Arkansas, who has not played good football at all this year, and you get South Carolina at home. So if you're chalking up Georgia as a loss, I mean, this team could go 10-2, 9-3, which would be absolutely incredible year for Eli Trinkowitz. Can't complain if you're a Tiger fan. A Missouri
Yeah,
Tiger fan, that is.
exactly. Good clarification there. And obviously, it's going to help in the recruiting trail with some high profile recruits that you're kind of battling for. But regardless, though, I do think you said like the SEC East, other than Georgia, does any team like really, really impress you? Like Tennessee, you get them at home. Much different Tennessee team, I think, on the road versus at home. South Carolina's got a ton of question marks. Kentucky, we just saw get dismantled. To Arkansas, right? Arkansas at that point could be like a 3-win team, a 4-win team. Like who knows? And you get Florida at home again, which is a key point there, not having to go to the swamp. Like I see 10-2. 10 is very reasonable. I would think that's definitely on the upper echelon. I do feel like 8-4 is much more reasonable, right? Maybe
Yep.
you lose a game here or there. Regardless, though, still highly, highly impressive. Highly, highly impressive. And especially with a lot of the question marks on this roster, right? Brady Cook, man. Brady Cook's been awesome. And he's only a junior. You got him for what, like 1 or 2 more years, depending on the COVID rules and whatever happened there. Like, who knows with college football eligibility nowadays? It's like the salary cap in the NFL. It's just like
Yeah, eligibility.
for
What is
some teams it works,
eligibility?
some teams it doesn't. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, this is a fun game, man. This is a fun game.